Hello, my friends. I wanted you to see what an opportunity to spend a little private time with me would look like by showing you this conversation that I had with my good friend Sharada Devi. She does toolsthattransform.com, by the way. An excellent resource for all people, all women especially. Hey, come listen and find out all about your hot burning questions, or at least what Sharda's were, about cannabis and how we can put some of those myths to bed and lift the science, knowledge, and safety and effectiveness of using cannabis together. Come on in. Sharada and I are waiting for you.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, where we speak the language of cannabis freely and uncensored while educating our audience on safe use of this live plant therapy. You should know what's in your cannabis, what's good and what's not, because cannabis does not come with an FDA stamp of approval, yet. The information you will find here comes straight from scientists and clinicians doing the work and reporting their findings in reputable outlets. Hopefully, we can inspire you to research the facts as we know them today. Cannabis is an amazing alternative in health remedies, with the potential to alleviate typical disease problems and troubling side effects, even those caused by synthetic prescriptions. Here now is the host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast. She is a 21st century cannabis shaman, not a doctor, not a scientist. Raised by nuns and wolves in the verdant cattle pastures of the Oklahoma oil fields, here to amplify the truth of this great big story of cannabis in historical, political, scientific, and spiritual terms, so you can make educated decisions about the medicine you choose to ingest. Please welcome Honey Smith Walls.
Thank you for joining me today, Sharada Devi, for this one-on-one about cannabis chat and to help you understand your journey and how it all fits into this undulating story of cannabis that we're rediscovering. So thrilled to have you.
I am beyond excited to be here with you because I know that your wisdom is so incredibly deep. I spotted it 5 minutes after hearing you talk the first time. So I know that I'm going to get my questions answered. I'm going to have so many more tools to use when we're done. And because I am all about keeping this happy and healthy.
Yep.
Because I didn't start off happy and healthy. I had several decades of unhappy and healthy, chronic depression, chronic anxiety. Didn't know that cannabis is one of the best anxiety medications on the planet. I healed myself before I knew that, but man, would that have been easier with a little help?
Wouldn't it?
Probably would have taken me almost 4 decades.
Oh, I'm embarrassed that I'm 70 years old and just figuring some of this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to be more gentle on myself and say, well, girl, you were conditioned to be right where you are. So,
we didn't have good information.
We had terrible information. Gaslighting.
Yes. Propaganda. I grew up in a hemp producing state.
Oh.
So, that Kentucky was the largest hemp producing state before all of this went south.
Oh my goodness.
We produced it for all of the things, the rope and the sales and the blah, 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 blah.
All of it. Yeah.
And so I knew that it was a battle between hemp farmers and cotton farmers. I didn't know that part. But
you know why?
Why?
Because hemp is so much better on our soil than cotton. Cotton is real hard on our soil.
Honey.
Yeah.
Could this agricultural, what shall we call it?
Revolution?
Well, the changeover, could that have been part of what caused the Dust Bowl?
Well, really what caused the Dust Bowl was them plowing up the soil, all that mycelium, that grows together like this. They plowed all that up. And then there was nothing for anything to grab onto. because they broke all of the mycelium network underneath. So that's why we don't want tilling in farming anymore, because tilling breaks up the mycelium and then you just have dirt, which is dead soil.
Yes. Okay. Well, then that makes sense. But,
Yeah.
I started using CBD because I'm a dancer. I've danced most of my adult life, and I have been on the yoga mat for even longer than that. So, what a lot of people don't know about the serious yoga practitioners, we are all about our feet. And what they don't know about dancers is it's all about your feet. And I had random foot pain that was persistent over a couple of months. And CBD had just been made legal here. And I knew a friend who had a wife she had chronic neck pain.
Mm-hmm.
She started rubbing CBD on her neck and her chronic neck pain went away. I had 2 different problems, one on each foot.
Ooh.
And so the CBD that I used on the problem on the left foot, I used it once and it was gone, never to return. The other foot, I had to use it for about 5 days before it was gone, never to return.
That we call that healing.
Yeah. And you know what? I was smart enough to be paying attention.
Yeah.
At that point. And then the second thing that I learned was that another thing that the cannabis system is really important for is regulating inflammation writ large.
Oh, yeah.
So I started, finding all these people who just took a dropper full of CBD every day that had inflammatory sort of all over.
Yeah.
And the whole system down.
It's really amazing. Do you know why that is?
No, I don't. I haven't had time to do any of that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you.
That's why I'm so excited to be with you. I'm like, oh, get all my research done without help.
And it makes it so much easier. See, I trust you on having done all of the research that makes you the expert too. That's why I come to you for certain things. So I'm really thrilled that we can swap this, marvelous information. So the reason CBD, which is called cannabidiol, works so well in your system for so many things is because of your receptor system. It's called your endocannabinoid. Endo is Latin. It means within. Cannabinoid, after cannabis, system of receptors. And it's throughout your entire body, in your skin, in your blood, in your DNA, in your eyeballs, in your bones, everywhere. And so, you put it on your foot and bang, those receptors picked it up and said, oh, yes, thank you. And, took a little more to get that, whatever it was on the other foot or on, you said it worked on your friend's neck. Yep. Because you've got receptors everywhere. So, and that's why it works.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And I did do enough research to know that we had an endocannabinoid system. And it's been so long ago since I did this. This is probably 6 years ago since I started using it. Remind me, you've got receptors on your skin and in different systems. Like, are there receptors in your digestive system?
Oh, yes, it's in every system. And as a matter of fact, Sharada, the endocannabinoid system is a master regulatory system over all of your other 11 bodily systems, your endocrine system, your skeletal system, your central nervous system, all of those.
That explains why it acts so fast.
And there are hundreds of cannabinoids in the cannabis plant. So yes, you can, extract one cannabinoid called CBD out of the entire plant and it can be effective. But if you use the entire spectrum of all of those compounds, exactly. They're already siblings and love each other.
Yeah.
They already work together in the plant to protect the plant, and they do that as well for both humans and animals.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the extraction bit because I'm a plant person. So I get, I've been vegan for a long time. I get all the different phytonutrients. And so I love a plant.
Yep.
We want to eat the whole plant.
Yes.
Skim and all.
Yes.
But I had the most interesting experience. So the first CBD that I got was dark and grainy and smelled green. And then the second CBD I got was very clean looking.
That was an extract, the second
And
one.
it didn't do anything. It did not do what the other CBD did.
Because it didn't have the power to do what the other CBD did.
Because at this point, every time I've got an ache and pain, and I'm taking it internally too.
Yeah.
So I kind of got, and this was early days, so you couldn't get any decent information about it even. So I kind of figured it out. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's chemically something or other, and this is whole plant. So I actually started making my own CBD until I could find a dark, grainy, green smelling one again.
Right. Right.
So I'm thinking that for this body, an isolate of anything, it's not enough. I think I need all those other parts. Am I correct in that?
You are. And that's what I advise everybody to use, is a whole plant product that has all those compounds in it that grow naturally in the plant. But because of our legal hurdles that are just undulating across the United States and nay around the world, it's very difficult for some people to get whole plant products. So they are at the mercy of their systems, who may only allow an isolate of a little itty bit of one compound. And two, big pharma is very used to making one isolated compound that targets one thing. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
This is a whole body targeting anything you got going on kind of a deal. And it's because of the hundreds and hundreds of compounds in the entire cannabis plant that can shoot through your body like a shotgun blast.
Hi, Honey Smith Walls here. I'm host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, weekly for the past 6 years. But today I'm inviting you to a Facebook group called the Holistic Relief Summit, in hopes that you too will come for the peace and stay for the epiphanies. It's a beautiful space for women to find all kinds of relief from all kinds of suffering. Come join us for free.
Well, hello, I'm Dr. Philip Blair, and I want to introduce you to Honey Smith Walls. And she recently had an experience with beta-caryophyllene.
For years, I've been dealing with lots of arthritis pain and pain from neuropathy that has not been resolved through other prescriptive methods. As an advocate educator in the cannabis industry, I learn lots of interesting information about the compounds within the plants, and one of those turned out to be beta-caryophyllene.
What was your first dose like?
I was gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. It has given me my future back.
I want to get it out to everybody too. I want to get it out to the whole world, as a matter of fact. It has so many mitigating factors for all the stresses of life and pain and diseases. It is unbelievable, the spectrum of care that it can provide.
It's because of the hundreds and hundreds of compounds in the entire cannabis plant that can shoot through your body like a shotgun blast. And it'll target a headache with a bellyache, with constipation and need for focus and getting rid of that achy joint thing going on. And it can really manage a lot for us all at once. That's why it's such a perfect womanly tool for us to keep in our first aid kit, because we suffer so much emotionally and physically and spiritually and mentally, and cannabis is great for all of that.
You know, my background is in the study of religion. And a lot of unfortunate stories from the past are all about how women should suffer for some reason or another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was good at that being a Catholic.
Oh, well, there you go. The whole pain of childbirth for in perpetuity.
Offer it up.
Yeah. Well, so I think that what I would like to do, and I think that one of the things that when you're talking about a whole plant, and I do a lot, well, manifestation is what I do. The first manifestation I did was heal my life. So I'm very much into the health of the body. And I think that, and I worked in healthcare as a young person, and I will tell you, there was definitely an attitude that, women are just being hysterical and you're not in that much pain. And, cramps are normal and you should have them.
That's right. You're a woman. You're supposed to have pain.
You're supposed to suffer and struggle.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I
too. I'm over it.
I am so done over struggle.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love in your work that I would love for you to share more with me about just in this moment, because I have you all to myself.
Yes.
The terpenes, like the different terpenes in the plant and kind of what they do and what are the ones that seem to be important for different things. If you would talk to me, just give me their names and what they do, I would love that.
Okay. So this is the new part of the ancient science and knowledge of cannabis. It's the terpenes that decide your ride on cannabis. Oh, yes. And that's why learning some alchemy is so important. And you need a little fundamental education to go along with that alchemy so you'll understand how to dose properly and how to titrate up or down if you need to, taking one more dose or not, backing off, And so those are all part of the cannabis dance that you'll be doing and enjoying once you understand the fundamentals. And terpenes, oh my golly, there are some wonderful studies out about terpenes on their own. I mean, just aside from cannabis and all of their medicinal effects. So what's a terpene? That's what we taste and smell and everything we drink and eat and out in the fresh grass when it's cut.
Oh, I love that smell.
It's wonderful. I once heard a whole family of people that couldn't stand the smell of freshly cut grass. That just floored me. I'd never heard anybody that didn't care for that. But anyway.
Probably with the gene that makes cilantro taste like soap.
There it is. I'll bet it was. Oh, don't you love science? So terpenes really do decide your ride on cannabis. And that's why you want your cannabis grow to be like next to an orange orchard and not next to the city dump. Oh, because the winds blow terpenes, little molecules, little invisible molecules through the air. And it really can harm your cannabis grow if you are growing outside and near something that can easily contaminate it. This is another reason why you need cannabis education. You never want to purchase a cannabis product that has not been third-party laboratory tested for contamination. So it's very important to understand that the product that you're getting is safe for you to, ingest.
Yeah, I'm big on that.
Yeah, me too. Because at 70, I'm really serious about what I'm ingesting now. I want to live longer. So, I don't want to put myself in the grave before I have to because of the stuff that I'm eating. Right. So I'm really starting to get serious about that. And cannabis is part of that, part of my daily routine. So it helps these, womanly aches and pains, the arthritis, the, nausea from thyroid pills that we have to take, and all the other polypharmacy I can't get rid of, but the other stuff I can replace because now I've got gentle plant therapy. So back to terpenes. There are several I'm sure you can recognize right off the bat. Just think of this color. What makes you think of, something you can taste that's this color? An orange, maybe? You know what that terpene is in the orange and limes and lemons? It's called limonene, a terpene called limonene. And if you want to write that one down, that's a big one for waking up first thing in the morning. If you need pain relief, but you really want to wake up and focus and get into your day, limonene, Lemonine, limonene is a great terpene that helps you not only awaken and have focus, but its medicinal properties are magnificent. And you can just go to pubmed.gov and look up what a terpene will do for you, like limonene. And you will see that it's got a huge list of medicinal values. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant, it's, on and on it goes. And every single terpene we know and ingest also has a medicinal value, even though those are out there for the plants originally. They work on humans because of what? Do you remember? Our endocannabinoid system. That's right. So it's all part of the magic love between those compounds in the plant, the terpenes and cannabinoids that already love each other. And the terpenes are deciding how much more of a ride you're going to get on that THC and the other cannabinoids.
Oh, interesting, because I like that you say this is one that keeps you. I don't like the terpenes that make you sleepy.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that one would be linalool. It's what you smell in lavender. So now that you know that one will make you sleepy, you can avoid it.
And how do you spell that?
It's linalool. That's what you smell in lavender. And lavender is what Tide puts in their detergent so that every time you're smelling it, you feel calm and sedate. It's not really going to put you to sleep. It's an anxiolytic. It helps calm your anxiousness. So if you have too much of it, it'll put you to sleep. But if you have just enough, it'll calm you and not put you to sleep.
And this is why we have lavender baby bubble bath.
Exactly.
And soap and
lavender cat litter. Oh, yes. It calms the cats. Remember, all of this stuff works on your animals too.
Right.
So during the 4th of July or New Year's Eve, when, little boys are out there exploding bombs, then the animals are fearful. But if you've got one that's really in a panic state, you can give them some cannabis and it will help alleviate those fearful panic attacks that they're going to go through.
Yeah, no, they really struggle.
Yeah.
During the time. So are you a big fan of eating? cannabis.
In fact, I think ingesting cannabis through, like your daily salad or a tea is one of the very best ways to continue getting cannabinoids into your body.
Mhm.
See, Dr. Ethan Russo, who is the leading scientist in cannabis, says he thinks, he has this theory that because we have been prohibited from using cannabinoids for the past 100 years, that we now have gross deficiencies, and it's causing other newer issues like ADD, ADHD, Parkinson's, more cancers, more tumors, all kinds of things, because we stopped ingesting cannabinoids. Our animals didn't get it anymore. They ripped it out of the animal food off the planet. Our cows and chickens would eat it, but no more. Even our fish would get it, but no more.
But we're getting lots of great hormones from those animal products.
Well, and I
mean, they're
9-year-old daughter that started her period because of those kind of issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's changing our society and humanity and women.
I taught children for about 10 years, and third graders were wearing training bras.
Oh, yeah. She's got little boobettes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and poor little thing, those hormones just crazy flushing through her body like crazy, as it has to in order for our bodies to be able to produce.
Right. To change.
Right.
In the yoga tradition, and in Hinduism writ large, they are a society that is very medicinal plant focused.
Exactly.
And they have a story where they're like, we were given everything that we needed to heal this body by the earth. It's in one plant or another.
Mm.
All the plants have something.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of the plant. I'm a big fan of tea. And it makes sense that there are a lot of things driving the uptick in inflammatory issues is unexplainable practically. And if I am remembering correctly, a few years ago, the World Health Organization put anxiety at pandemic levels globally. And this was before the pandemic, I think I read that.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, and this is such a beautiful anti-anxiety plant.
It certainly is. It's the anxiolytic properties in lots of different cannabinoids and terpenes are amazing and would help not only, societies around the globe, but animals as well. And so this is my mission, to help spread this word and to get more women to accept an alternative to our American medical sick care system. So,
I mean, my nephew's a physician, and much of my family works in traditional healthcare. And I got to tell you, all of my family members are people who are there trying to help other people. They're doing this. My nephew really was motivated to become a physician because, unfortunately, his father, my brother, never was able to get on top of the depression and anxiety that ran in our gene pool. Never. And, a lot of the folks that I know that are doctors, they're struggling with the system as much as everybody else is, as far as it not being healthy.
I feel badly for our doctors and medical specialists because this is not their fault. This gross lack of information and education about this plant is not their fault. It's purely due to the political shenanigans of some of our naughty American politicians who started this whole thing. So
I've even had doctors tell me on the quiet, they're like, I really don't care if somebody is smoking marijuana. That is not what I'm worried about.
They've seen
right.
that it's not harmful.
Right.
They've seen that it actually calms people and their innards down.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just don't understand why. And the why is because the politicians ripped out this information of our American pharmacopoeia in bed with big corporate medicine, big corporate alcohol, big corporate paper, big corporate cotton, on and on and on. The list goes.
I just thought it was the hemp farmers and the cotton farmers.
No, alcohol doesn't want this coming in. They're trying to figure out how they can work around it. Cotton, like I said, cannabis makes beautiful silks. We don't even have to keep killing the worm.
Oh, right. That cannabis, rope. Of course.
Exactly. White guys never would have made it over here without cannabis because you couldn't shove a boat across an ocean without sails and rope, both made from cannabis. And then our first American Navy was built with cannabis. Same reason, sails and rope. So the backbone of America truly was built around the cannabis plant, but we've forgotten that in less than 100 years. And we certainly teach it in school.
Did I hear you say at some point that the way they decontaminated the dirt at Chernobyl?
Yeah, they planted hemp because cannabis is a heavy metal uptake, and it'll just suck that stuff right up out of the planet. And then what do you do with it? You go burn it in a different container, and then, your soil will be enriched and be rid of all of that other stuff going on. So another reason why you must be very careful with the plant that you ingest, because it can also grow natural toxins, herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, molds, and mildews. And then, like I said, if it was planted near a city dump, you're going to have all that toxic waste going on too that blew over. So It's very important to get a lab test on the product that you buy and ingest.
And I have a question because I'm not, I know CBD.
Yeah.
And I know THC. But
yes.
You said there are many cannabinoids, something in
Correct.
There and two that I don't know about.
There are hundreds of cannabinoids, and we are just now discovering the real value of like the first, I'd say, 20. And so there's cannabigerol, cannabinol, cannabidiol. THC is actually delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. The delta 8 that you see out in gas stations and on the street and dollar stores, that's all made from CBD, and it's considered a synthetic, even though they lie and say it's real. It isn't. I don't recommend anybody using D8. It's not necessary. It was just a ruse to get around our undulating political laws. So,
and I know there were some problems here with that stuff. So I think that's also a problem of who's manufacturing it.
Yes, CBD delta 8 is very easy to make in your garage. And so, with all the roaches running around and whatnot. So, just saying, you do not want to buy delta 8 off the street or even from a store. It's just not necessary. Go get the real thing,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Right. So if your state is not yet allowing you to purchase real THC products, you can order full spectrum and or whole spectrum. Play on words there.
Yeah.
Full means there's a lot of cannabinoids in it. Whole means it's all of them. Oh. So, right. So they, and the laws don't let us advertise like Big Pharma gets to on every device you ever watch. So there's no way to inform the public this way. It just has to all be done privately, like what you and I are doing right now, one-on-one.
Yes. Well, thank heavens you are my friend, because the other thing is, I did a little bit of research when I started making my own CBD oil because I had to. And
Yeah.
finding quality information that is as complete as you are. No, you can find some discussion about CBD. You can find some discussion about THC, but like not the whole discussion, not
The whole picture.
holistic discussion, the whole picture.
Right. Well, this is why I wanted to get together with you and answer your burning questions first. That way, all of that angst is settled down, because those burning questions, they can be scary sometimes. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing it the right way? Am I taking enough? Am I, is it going to hurt me? Is it messing with any of my other meds? Should I not take so much of it? All of those things.
I am so happy that I don't have to worry about it messing with anything else, because there isn't anything else.
Oh, glory be. I've never met a woman like you.
Years of doing the healing on my mindset and my emotions that I did to heal my body.
Yes.
So when I came to cannabis not looking to heal as much. I had that foot problem. I was hoping it would do something for that. But at that point, the things that I use, I'm looking to be a complement to my entire healthcare plan.
Me too.
So far, I can't find anything. The worst that I've learned is, quality matters. If you have too much CBD, you'll be sleepy. That's the worst I've discovered.
Okay, maybe. Depends on what terpenes were in that product.
Right. Surprise. And now I know we can get around that.
As far as we know, CBD doesn't really make people sleepy. It's the terpenes in it.
Well, that first bottle I had a lot of terpenes in it. It maybe had them all. It was so green. I mean, the oil was even slightly green. Great.
Well, the plant's green.
Yeah, it was great.
So let me tell you, since I know now that you're already making your own CBD, and I think that's just fabulous. Mm-hmm. When you can get quality cannabis leaf, a real simple recipe for making your own medicine, and you can ingest it however you want to, is to I thought I had a little baggie here. Get a little baggie of cannabis, right? Not pretzels, cannabis, and cover it with a real good oil, like an olive oil, real good one. Just barely cover it, and leave it in that Ziploc baggie. Mush it around and leave it in that Ziploc baggie for 24 hours on your counter, and just mush it, like you would a little bit of bread dough. Mm-hmm. And then you can put it in the fridge and just use it. So you can use a little quarter of a teaspoonful every day. You can put it in your salad. You can put that in your tea and ingest it and flavor it with honey and lemon or whatever you want.
Process that I go through.
Yeah.
It requires work. Now, my one ask is, can I do that in a glass jar? Because I don't use plastic for anything that I don't have.
Shame on me. Yeah, I should. Yeah. Glass jar. Thank you for that tip too. I'm trying to get away from using plastics myself.
Okay. So, I'll just give you, since you've given me so much, can I give you one thing?
Yeah.
My friend who's a nutritionist, when the research came out on plastic, and she's very, she's not real corporate, nor is she wild out there on the lunatic fringe. She's very middle of the road as a nutritionist. I love her. Very practical. When she got the research on plastics, she came home and threw away every plastic container in the house. So
Okay.
Must have been, well, just, you just start one piece at a time. We're not going to get rid of plastic, but I
Right.
save all my jars and I try not to store my food in plastic.
And that's the wise woman in you. And thank you for helping me realize that too. Again,
I have an entire page of notes. It's the least I could do.
Yeah, thanks. We need daily PSAs on how to redo our everything because we've been misled and taught incorrectly and never given any autonomy for ourselves. Did you hear me? Never given any autonomy.
Yes, I took mine at 25. Yes, I understand.
And I took mine. Exactly. We need to be taught how to take our autonomy and keep it too. So, okay. Are there any other burning questions that I can answer for you, dear heart? And I have a gift for you. It's an assessment.
Okay.
It will help you.
One more question about eating it. So when you get like the CBD material I order comes in those dry little buds, and I can rehydrate it and just eat the mash. But if I could, this is my thought, if I could actually find a real plant that was fresh, could we cut the fresh leaves and chop them up and eat them in a salad? Does that work?
Absolutely. And it won't get you high. Even if you're eating marijuana right off the thing, it won't get you high because it has not been decarboxylated yet.
But I get all the other good stuff.
But you get everything. Furthermore, you get the better stuff. You get the acidic version of all of those compounds that have not been heated up, decarboxylated, heated up.
Yep. I got to heat up this process. I do.
Right. So time will activate THC if it's old or if it's been in heat. But generally, you can't get high on raw cannabis.
Well, have you ever eaten any raw cannabis? Does it taste okay?
Oh, yeah.
Chewy? Is it chewy? Like, I don't want it to be weird, chewy, hard. Is it?
Well, you'd want to get, there are different leaves on the plant.
Sure.
But you can also, what am I doing here?
Grating?
Grate it. Yes.
Bread?
Yeah, you can grate it. Or you can just crush it up. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to taste it, especially if you have other things in your salad like maters and onions. And
I am going to hunt myself down some fresh leaves. I'm now intrigued by this.
It will be more potent for controlling pain and probably anxiety too, or anything in your body, because you're eating the precursor acidic compounds to the big ones that we already know after they get decarboxylated.
Okay. Now that sounds interesting.
It's a pretty amazing scientific ride, I have to tell you. And the science is changing. I mean, we barely have just a few real tests, clinical trials that are just now being performed. Mm-hmm. But we have a millennium of information about this plant from around the world that I can't ignore.
No.
So, never a death on the planet by cannabis.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
I want to say recently there have been some scuttlebutt that, they had a worker in a hash house, which can kick up very, very fine dust. She wasn't wearing a mask. She had asthma. The dust got into her lungs, and that was problematic.
And the whole hash production world that's a whole different animal. It
really is.
Does hash have any medicinal value at all?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cannabis. That's all. It's
just super strong.
It's just super compacted and super strong. That's right. It's all the trichomes, just the trichomes and nothing else practically. So it's really high potent marijuana, basically. But, and some people really need that to control whatever it is they have going on, like cancers and tumors and stuff.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing the initial research that I did 5 or 6 years ago, I ran into, and I just listened to your interview. I didn't know about the woman in England, Charlotte, but I ran into the story, and I think it was an Australian family, and that their children were having hundreds of seizures a day, and it was actually causing brain damage. Each seizure you have damages the brain, and these children really were like losing their brain from these seizures, and they were giving them super high dose cannabis, and I wonder if that's what it was actually.
Yes, we in the industry we call that Rick Simpson oil, or FECO, FECO, which I can't remember what an acronym. Full extract cannabis.
Okay, that sounds like what they were using. Okay,
right,
got it.
And I used to take that too. I had a tumor growing on my gum, and I took real high powered FECO for about 6-8 months. So it's about a rice size grain, of THC that's just really, really super concentrated. And first few days, maybe week that I took it, yes, I felt woozy and I was careful. And then my body just got used to it, and I haven't been high since, and that was years ago. So I would really have to go back. I'd have to resort to using some hash or something if I were in the recreational mood and wanted to get high.
Okay.
But I don't feel the need to get high anymore. I don't even drink anymore, and champagne is my favorite drink because I don't feel the need to. I don't feel like I need to calm everything down.
All driven by anxiety.
It is.
Doggone bit of it. A nervous system out of balance is anxious.
It is.
All, because I have a long relationship with healthcare and things. All addiction is driven by anxiety. It's a nervous system out of balance. Now, why is the nervous system out of balance? Well, there's where it gets interesting and complicated.
Yes.
But basically, biologically, it's all a nervous system out of balance. And what I'm hearing you say is you've now got enough of the cannabinoids in your system that system is all filled up and working. And so you don't have the other drive,
those cravings to go out and find something that I think is going to make me feel better, happy, giddy, champagne. And yet it gives me a hangover the next morning. It makes me sleep terribly. It gives me gastric issues. So, but I love champagne.
Yeah.
I don't need to drink it anymore. I'm so surprised to find that out, to realize that. It's been 2 years. Just don't need it. Don't think about it. Not even when I go out.
Right.
And that's because my system has found homeostasis. It's found balance in that area.
Yeah.
Now I still have arthritis and neuropathic pain, which I manage with cannabis. So when I wake up in the morning, I need something for energy that's going to take care of this pain, but keep me focused and energetic. And by evening time, I need something where I'm just going to calm down and stop thinking about work.
With some linalool.
Yes, with linalool in it. So limonene in the morning, linalool at night. And there are other terpenes too that we go over, which help you understand which cannabinoids you can choose from. There's hundreds of thousands of terpenes, and humans can smell and recall about 2,000 of them. Isn't that amazing? Can you tell me what peanut butter smells like?
We're at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, right. So, so it's really great to be able to understand that terpenes do decide your ride, and the ones that we're discovering that people get the most of across the United States at this time in cannabis history. There's about a couple of dozen of them, really, that we're looking at and learning the extent of their medicinal value. So
when you go in one of those dispensaries and they do have like, this one will do this and this one will do that. And I've always been kind of like, well, I don't know. Why should I trust you? I mean, you're just telling me that. Can I have some? Because I'm a data girl. But there is some meaning to that. We do have some way of knowing, yes, this one's going to wake you up and this one's going to help you go to sleep.
Yes, but you're not going to find that meaning in a dispensary unless it is a medical dispensary with somebody with real expertise. Bud tenders are salespeople. They're not pharmaceutical salespeople. They don't know hardly anything about that. And they're in a business, and that business is there to make money. And they make money on selling the highest THC products that they can sell you. So most dispensaries that I'm familiar with across the United States are there to sell you a high if they are a recreational dispensary, or let me put it this way, if they are not a medicinal dispensary. And even in medicinal dispensaries, bud tenders are not always the educated person. Again, that's a business too. And the overturn in employees at that level is great. They're usually getting kids in there to start the process. And they teach them the menu of the dispensary, and that's about it.
Got it.
So if those kids want to go out and learn anything about cannabis, they have to do it on their own, just like I did. And for the past decade, I've been studying under the auspices of the leading scientists in cannabis around the world, because it's a pretty small tribe still.
I talked to you for about 15 minutes before I told you you were brilliant.
Oh,
I knew that. I mean, I knew enough to know. And again, I have a background in science, so, that does. But so I really want to understand what you call the alchemy of it, because I am very committed to my health. Yoginis are the yoga lifestyle. If you are really living the lifestyle, it's an incredibly low inflammatory lifestyle, because what we want to do is get the most out of this body that we have. And it's built to live to about 120. And we are missing that mark by a long shot.
Yes, by a long time.
And so I really want, I've used enough of the plant in various ways that I understand, and I'm going to do everything I can do to avoid a pharmaceutical, not because I think that it's inherently bad. Look, the pharmaceutical industry, if you have a rare disorder, if you have a rare imbalance like a thyroid, and it's not rare as in, there aren't many people. A lot of people have thyroid issues. But if you have something really specific, they are brilliant at getting you that one thing you need for that one thing.
Exactly.
What they are not,
especially if you need surgery.
Oh, yeah. What they're not brilliant about is how that one thing might impact everything else.
Long-term stuff going on. Long-term medicine still has a long way to go.
And I really don't want to be on the daily 5 med program. I just don't. I've never have. My stomach doesn't like pills.
They don't work nicely together for a reason. They are laboratory made, one compound, one target issues. And so it's a real reason why they don't play nicely in our tummy.
Yeah. And I'm really very, I've been using food and what I put in my mouth as medicine for decades. So I'm really seeing this and thinking about the way that my Indian friends use herbs, because all the herbs have medicinal properties.
Absolutely.
And, they use all those spices, to make things taste good, but they're also using them to do things. And so I am seeing that this is a plant that I really want to have in my back pocket at all times.
Yeah.
And I've been with you enough. I know you have a program. I don't know what it is, and I don't know when you're offering it. And so I need a little help, because now I know enough to know what I don't know so that I can go and get some benefit out of it.
All right, great. Well, you're right. I do have a program, and I'm thrilled to offer it to anybody who needs a helping hand understanding cannabis. It's a 3-month program, and it will get you on your right path to learning exactly what you need for your issues, because everybody is different. Everybody is different. And this is what I want to impress. Remember, I told you about that little easy to do recipe? Now you're going to want one for in the morning and one for in the evening too, right? That's right. Because now you're going to be checking what's inside that cannabis that you're buying from now on to figure out how it's truly going to affect you. And those are the kinds of things that we'll be learning more of in the classes and the courses that I offer. So I'm thrilled to send that information to you. Would that be all right for me to send that information?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I'll do that. I've also got a free gift for you today that will help you on your cannabis discovery journey. And that gift is a self-assessment for just how you're feeling overall, the things that you're doing, some of the things that you've tried. It's a gentle questionnaire, and it won't take you very long to get through, but it will be very informative for figuring out your gentle cannabis path. So I'll be happy to send that to you as well and get you well on your way to finding out what's right for you.
Yeah.
So and we don't always know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's everybody has to do that work to be healthy. If you want to be healthy, you've got to be paying attention to what does and doesn't work for you and figure that out. Like, I need you, because I don't want to do all that research and I don't have time. But
that's what's so beautiful about learning from somebody else.
And then I've got to have, I've got to experiment in here. This is an experiment.
It is. It is a journey of discovery. Yeah. And because cannabis is so unique with so many hundreds of compounds in it that will do something different for every single body that it goes into, we have to discover which of those compounds are necessary to help balance what's going on, whatever it is. So,
and is your book done yet? I know
thank you for asking. Healing Beyond High, Cannabis Truth is my new book. It is in the publishing process. I'm so tickled to finally say that out loud. And it should be another, couple weeks or something like that. And so I'll let you know as soon as it launches. And thank you for asking that.
Well, no, I've been waiting for it because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there that I would want to highlight. Yeah. And so, I just am so appreciative. Look, I understand that being truly healthy and happy, I've lived this, is an inside job. And
I didn't know that. Sharada, I did not know it was an inside job. I thought it was my doctor's job to fix me.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and that's where, awareness finally comes in. What I've been learning from you, and that sort of mentoring help. So yes, being aware of your bodily systems, how food affects you, and what you're doing to it, what you're even eating out of. So all that matters.
Yeah. Well, honey, I knew enough to get cannabis to do the two things I needed it to do.
Right.
And I'm so glad that we finally made time to sit down and have this conversation, because I'm now really like that beautiful image I have of all the different things that make us healthy, it now has a much larger green plant
Right.
to it. And I'm thinking that I've just scratched the surface on what this plant can actually offer this body for being happy and healthy long term. And I just wasn't able to get there because of time. You know, you only have so much time to research, and
That's right.
yeah. And so this, like, you have just done in 90 minutes, you have answered about 6 years of unanswered questions, just hanging back here. And I think that I've been underutilizing the plant. And
Yes.
I now think that I'm going to get a whole nother complement of benefits from using.
Tell me again, what does your current state law say about using cannabis?
Okay, well, let's see. I know CBD is legal. I'm
Okay.
in Georgia. I'm not sure if THC
right.
is legal or not.
Okay. Well, then that's one of the things that we'll be perusing to discover, just what exactly your cannabis laws are so that we can know where you can go to find good products that are safe.
Yeah, I order my CBD from the West Coast, and I'm like you. Cleanliness is a thing. So yeah,
Does that come with a certificate of analysis
Yes,
that proves what? Okay, atta girl.
And now I can go read it and actually understand why that matters. I was like, okay, it has CBD in it. Check.
Yes.
All these other things, nice. I don't know what they mean.
If it has a long list of cannabinoids, then you're doing great. If it's also got a list of terpenes, then you're doing great. If it's also got a list of toxins that are not in it, you're doing great. Those are the three major things you want to look at on a certificate of analysis.
Thank you.
My pleasure. This has been so much fun, and I hope very helpful to you too, honey.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, I want to remind you that when you hang out with me, you're going to find out who my trusted sources are. But more than that, I'm going to tell you why they're my trusted sources and help you learn to recognize trusted companies and trusted products. So we'll be getting into that.
Yeah, it's all about cleanliness, and that's actually getting trickier to figure out.
Yep. Sure is. Sure is. But not with me. I'm going to help you through all of that. And I just want to thank you for being here today. Is there anything else that I can offer you or tell you about that is?
Oh my gosh. I have a page full of notes. We'll have to do it again. I can't absorb anymore, but thank you.
All right. There's a lot. I understand. That's why we take baby steps and get those burning questions answered first, so that you can really concentrate on the important formulations that you'll be doing in alchemy. And you know what I tell everybody about the alchemy of cannabis? It's as easy as putting butter and syrup on pancakes. If you can do that, you can do the alchemy of
something.
All right, Southern girl, I just love you so much, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I'll see you on the other side.
You've been listening to another Cannabis Truth Podcast with 21st century cannabis shaman Honey Smith Walls. Using cannabis mindfully as medication is a different concept in Western healthcare philosophy, specifically over the past century. There's a lot to learn and reconsider. The scientific truth of cannabis is finally getting out and is wide open for all to see at respected medical sites like the National Library of Medicine at pubmed.gov and the Journal of American Medical Association at JAMAnetwork.com. We here at the Cannabis Truth Podcast are right there in the thick of it, alongside the titans of medicine, as a fly on the wall. We are not doctors, nor did we go to medical school, but we have taken dozens of private cannabis courses and still engage in continuing education offered by expert cannabis scientists. Over the past few years, we slowly began to see and understand the bigger picture. Now we hear from people all day long about cannabis. It is so important to use verifiably safe products. The process of getting a diagnosis from your family doctor and taking your records to a cannabis specialist can lead you to the correct cannabinoid therapy for your specific issues. Otherwise, you're simply your own guinea pig looking for answers without the foundational knowledge or ability to determine your best strategy. To find a qualified cannabis expert in your area, visit cannabisclinicians.org. This is a national society of cannabis experts. Look for the link in the show notes. Unless otherwise proven by a reputable third-party lab test, please regard all street weed as contaminated. It may do grave harm to a patient with a delicate immune system who already has inflammatory issues like arthritis, IBS, fibromyalgia, or worse. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you find value and understanding through the conversations you've heard on this podcast.
A quick shout out to Nathan Pierce and Daniel Rome of the 406 Budcast and their brilliant tech goddesses who created what you're about to hear next.
She walked in with wisdom and a fire in her eyes, talking plant truth where the silence lies. From the roots to the bloom, she saw the light. Now she's teaching folks how to heal it right. Not afraid to challenge the tale of lazy myths and a system that failed. She's got science in one hand, stories in the other. Lifts up the voices they tried to smother. Honey knows, honey grows, truth in the soil and love in the smoke. Speaking for the elders and the ones left behind. She's the shaman of the leaf with a warrior's mind. Yeah, honey knows how the healing flows. Sun to digital waves, she's breaking down fear with every word she says. Cannabis truth, that's her battle cry, for the mamas and papas still scared to try. She ain't selling hype, she's serving facts, taking big pharma to school with class. With a mic and a mission, she lights the way for the lost and the curious every day. Honey knows, honey grows, truth in the bud and peace in the dose. Teaching the plant like a sacred art, from the ECS to the beating heart. Yeah, honey knows. Been burned by the system, lifted by the plant, giving voice to the ones who thought they can. A sister, a sage in a world